For years, we've heard the power of the fake it until you make it movement, but living on the other side of that is imposter syndrome. A study in the Journal of General Internal Medicine suggests that up to 82% of people face feelings of imposter syndrome, struggling with the sense that they haven't earned what they've achieved and are, to some extent, living as a fraud. It's a common problem that affects various professions and industries. However, it's been shown to crop up more in certain sectors such as academia and the arts, and not just visual arts, but all creatives have been identified as having higher reported instances. And based on that fact, this video is tailored to how imposter syndrome lives within our creative communities. So what makes creative types easy prey for imposter syndrome? Well, let's take a look. First, there's the subjectivity of success. By their very nature, creative fields often lack the clear, objective metrics for success that other fields have. And this subjective nature of evaluating artistic work can lead individuals to doubt their achievements, as success is frequently dependent on personal and often evolving interpretations of their work. Another is high standards and perfectionism. Creative individuals may set exceptionally high standards on themselves, driven by a desire for originality and excellence. This pursuit of perfectionism can intensify feelings of inadequacy, contributing to imposter syndrome. Next is continuous innovation and evolution. What I mean by that is that the artistic process involves constant growth and change. Artists often face the pressure to reinvent their style and produce groundbreaking work all the time, creating an environment conducive to self-doubt and imposter feelings. Then there's public scrutiny and critique. Creative works are often presented for all to view and, of course, weigh in on. And this exposure can make artists more vulnerable to external opinions, contributing to a heightened fear of being exposed as a fraud. Next comes comparison in the digital age. The rise of social media and the ability to easily compare one's work to another, and when I say another, I mean artists worldwide, can exacerbate imposter syndrome. Constant exposure to curated versions of others' successes may lead creative individuals to doubt their own achievements. And finally, there's the freelance and project-based economy challenges. Many creatives work freelance per project, where job security is often uncertain. This lack of stability can contribute to imposter feelings, especially when navigating the unpredictability of the creative industry. Okay, so now we can see why we may feel like that, but what does it actually look like to us? There's constant self-doubt, feeling like a fraud, fear of exposure, crediting success to external factors, setting unreasonably high standards, downplaying achievements, difficulty accepting compliments, constantly seeking validation, and lastly, comparing yourself to others. Well, were any of these you? Yes! So now we can relate to these feelings, but is there a specific time in your career when you can expect this more than other times? The interesting thing about it is that we can get it at any time in our career. We may initially associate this with the early stages of our career when we're first looking to establish our artistic identity. So let's start there. For emerging visual artists, the nascent steps in the art world often bring forth a profound sense of vulnerability. The struggle to validate our work can intensify self-doubt. Overcoming imposter syndrome at this stage involves not only recognizing your vulnerability, but I would say actually embracing it as a strength. We need to understand that each creative journey is unique to ourselves, and that self-discovery is an essential part of the artistic process. Now, further down the road, you may encounter a mid-career struggle. As artists progress through their careers and achieve recognition, imposter syndrome takes on new dimensions. Mid-career artists may find themselves questioning the authenticity of their success, fearing that it may be attributed more to luck rather than their inherent talent. And overcoming this phase involves a multifaceted approach. First, acknowledging achievements, both big and small, becomes a large part of level setting. Also, cultivating confidence requires a deep understanding that success isn't a stroke of luck, but the result of dedication, skill, and your unique artistic perspective. And finally, for older creatives like myself, there's a veteran's dilemma, which focuses on the fear of stagnation and not keeping up. Yes, even for us who've been around for a while and have a history of work and accomplishments, we're not immune to the imposter syndrome feelings. The fear of stagnation and the pursuit of perfection can lead to self-doubt, creating an internal conflict that challenges even the most established artists. Overcoming imposter syndrome at this stage requires a mind shift, Embracing the concept of artistic evolution becomes crucial to understanding that growth is a continuous process, which kind of ebbs and flows throughout our life, and that perceived shortcomings are opportunities for further exploration and refinement. So now that we understand imposter syndrome a bit more, what can we do about it? Well, I have 4 areas where I think we can find some help. The first is cultivating a supportive community. Building connections with like-minded artists, mentors, and friends creates a support network that counteracts the isolating effects of imposter syndrome. The exchange of experiences fosters resilience, encouragement, and a sense of a shared purpose. And the one thing I'd like to point out is that within this community that you build, make sure that you surround yourself with some artists on your level. While in most cases it's important to have diversity among your support group, more closely bonding with artists that are roughly on your level can take away some of the pressure of imposter syndrome that can happen when you compare yourself to other more accomplished artists. Next, and I talk about this one a lot on this channel, is celebrating achievements. Recognizing and celebrating personal and professional accomplishments, regardless of scale, reinforces a positive mindset. By making our success a part of us, artists can diminish the impact of imposter syndrome and build a foundation of self-assurance. Next is embracing failure as growth. And this one is tough, right? I understand. In this world of instant gratification, there's becoming less and less room for failure. We always want the fastest track to the next level. And let's face it, when we fail, besides bringing us down, it drastically slows down the process of success. And we can't have that. And while we all know this is true, failure still seems like an unwelcome detour and further proof of our inadequacies. I'm as guilty as anyone else, but viewing setbacks as opportunities for growth at first may seem a little cliche, but it does bring to light the truth and reframes failure as an integral part of our artistic journey. And if you're still doubting me, raise your hand if you found that some of your most important growth has come from mistakes or happy accidents. The last category is seeking professional help. While all these approaches can offer significant relief on a broad level, finding the specifics of why you're experiencing your imposter syndrome can prove more effective in addressing your triggers and ultimately your answers. In my work, I coach individuals to apply these concepts in a personally tailored and unique way, which is helpful in many cases. But even with my years as a creative professional and my CPC training that I use for artists, it can only go so far, and at this point, a licensed therapist can be an extremely effective option. Engaging in therapy or counseling offers a structured, supportive approach to overcoming your imposter syndrome questions. Mental health professionals provide valuable tools and insights to manage negative thoughts, cultivate a resilient mindset, and foster emotional well-being. And as our battles with imposter syndrome prove, as creatives, developing and maintaining a healthy creative mindset is just as important as the technical aspects of our artistic growth. And if you'd like to look further into your healthy and creative mindset, check out one of these videos. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.